Hey my friends, how you doing? It is time to take a look back at 2019. Also time to take a look forward at 2020. And of course, I want to take this chance to thank everyone who is part of my community, who watches my video, who supports my channel, of course, my patrons, of course, everybody who watched my one online course that I managed to create in 2019 and purchased one of the packs that I created throughout the year. I hope you loved them. I hope they were very helpful to you. And yeah, let's take a moment to look back at the year 2019. I hope you had a lot of great moments, a good time, and you could improve your life and had some happy moments in there. Of course, everybody also has some sad moments in their lives. So not every moment can be super amazing. So let's talk a little bit about this year. One thing I want to look back at, of course, is my channel and the growth of my channel. We hit some really amazing milestones this year. To give you just some statistics, over 10,000 new subscribers. This is amazing, really helps me. And also growing the community is really great, especially for me, because I can reach more people, give my knowledge to more people. And this personally, it means a lot to me, because I do this because I want to share my knowledge, give it to you, and have the chance and the ability to just share my artistic knowledge with you and help you to create your own things, find your own artistic voice. Another statistic is over 860,000 views around the globe. So this is really great. And the most mind-blowing for me was that over 77,000 hours of watched videos. And this is like really amazing. I can't tell you how amazing this is to me and how humble this also makes me. Because, I mean, first of all, think about how many lifetimes it would take to talk for 77,000 hours to tell people about knowledge, about information. It also makes me happy and humble about the time that we live in, the technology that we have, for especially with YouTube, that gives us the ability to share this information mostly for free. This is really amazing to be able to reach out there. And when you look at the map where the views come from, you see that all around the globe you have people who are positive and happy, who want to improve their lives, who want to invest their time into becoming artists, being creative, and sharing their love and passion with others around them, with the community, maybe with the rest of the world. This is something really positive. I think especially in a year like 2019, where we have seen a lot of maybe wrongful information, hateful information, fear-mongering being shared all over the internet. And then you see that there is so much hope and positivity out there, people who want to be artists, want to share their ideas and creative concepts with the world, with the community, and really improve the world around them. This is really positive. It really makes you believe in the mankind, in everyone, and the people in the different cultures, of course, that are always wonderful. If you travel around the world, you will see that wherever you go, people will be happy to meet you and want to know about you, and you want to know about them, and they will be happy to open their doors and their minds to you to share this kind of information freely, which is something that is really unique to our time. We never had that before in the history of mankind, where you couldn't just do that. Of course, I know not everybody can do that, but if you have the ability and the freedom to do that, you are really, how can I say, blessed, maybe? Is that the right word? I'm not sure, but you know what I mean. Also, through creating this channel, through being in contact with you and being able to also share my knowledge, but also being like inspired to create a lot more and look into topics that are maybe outside of my normal routine, I was able to learn a lot for myself. So it was not just me teaching you, it was me also learning from you. And I'm really thankful for that too, especially because it opened my eyes into two very important directions that I want to share with you, because I think every artist has these kind of problems, and creating this channel really helped me to understand things about myself, but also about art. So the first thing, and this is, I think, every artist knows that, is the fear of creation, the fear of doing something and you think, maybe it's not going to be good enough. Maybe I do some failures. Maybe it's not like I imagine. Maybe I can't express what I wanted to express with it. Maybe people even will look at it and laugh about it and say, hey, you're stupid. What did you create there? This is like fool's work. Why did you even take time to do that? But then to understand, you don't have to fear that at all. You don't have to fear that at all, for the main reason that it is really okay to fail. And the people who blame you, the people who joke about you, those are the people who are really afraid to fail. They are so afraid they don't create something, they just hate on you, and that's that, you know? So an important thing as an artist, I think, and I learned through that channel, is to really accept yourself and to understand that failing is part of being human, it's part of being an artist, it's part of being creative, and it is part of being in this creative process. And this is the most important thing to understand. 95, maybe 99% or more of the things that you create will be mediocre or even less than mediocre, but this is the part of the process, because this prepares you for the moment when you have really great inspiration, when you create something, when everything comes together and you finally create an amazing work, this rare occasion when this comes together. And then you not only have the knowledge, but you have the skill and the experience to execute that idea, to really make it into something amazing. This makes all the failures that you have created over the time worth it, because they are part of the process and they are ultimately also part of this great work that you have created. This is the blossom on top of the tree that is all the other work that you've done over the years. And to become better just means that your tree grows more of these beautiful flowers over time. And that is also something you need to understand, especially if you look at other artists. And this is also why I want to suggest to you to take the time to look at other artists, not just their best work, all of their work, their early work especially. You will see that there is no artist out there who did amazing work from day one. A lot of their work, most of their work, is mediocre, is even crap. Even if you look at the best artists, if the best writers, musicians, photographers, painters, whoever it is, actors, and you look at their early work, it was like lame and uninspired and like, ugh, why would you even watch that? Why would you even... But it had to be there. It had to be done. It had to be... They had to fail and then work their way through that. So understanding this takes away a lot of the fear, and you can just say, okay, I will sit down and I will do something, and I will be happy for being able to do something. And even if it's bad, I know tomorrow I will be that much better because I did these things today. So this takes a lot away of the fear, and also holds you off of procrastination, because this is also a main thing for me. And I procrastinate not only by watching a lot of YouTube videos and wasting my time on things that I shouldn't do, but also on reading. And you might think, how is reading a bad thing? Well, sometimes it is the occasion that you think, I just need more knowledge. And maybe if I have that more knowledge, I will be better prepared to create the thing that I want to create. But if reading all of these things holds you back from actually creating something, and you will create less because you think you have to spend more time on learning without doing something, you're actually hurting yourself and you're actually procrastinating in that moment, although you think you actually learned something. So there has to be a healthy mix between learning something and then also trying it for yourself and gaining that experience, because knowledge on its own is just that. It's knowledge, and knowledge is not understanding. So if you have a book, there's a lot of knowledge in that book, but the book itself knows nothing. It has no experience. There is no life in that book. You have that life and you have to gain that experience. So this is an important part that I learned through all of that process, that I will just sit down and do things, no matter if they are good or bad. And then some days or weeks later, I will come back, look at that work and judge what of that I actually like and what I dislike. So that is one of the parts that are important to me. Another thing through the process is of building the channel, of gaining the community, also of gaining your support, is that I learned again for myself that it's possible to stand on your own legs. It takes a lot of work and a lot of maybe fear and sweat and hard work, but you can make something and stand on your own two legs and like just survive and don't have to be fearful. So even, and I know at someday this channel will fail. It could be next year, it could be in 10 years, I don't know. Maybe this is the most I will ever gain in followers. Maybe I will have 10 million followers someday in my life. I can't know that, but what I can know from the experience of the things I have done before, but also through building this channel and also having you as an amazing community, is that if this fails, I can build another thing, and after that I can build another thing, and after that I can still build another thing. There won't be a point where I go under. I can just stand on my own two legs because I don't have to fear anything. I just have to put in the time and the work and the goodwill and trust the people around me to help me and support me in the things that we want to reach together. And this is the most important thing. I think even if you think about it as a business, it is still something that we do together. So every time you support me, I can do more for you. And that is a good thing. So we help each other in that way. And that is really, really important. And by the way, this is another thing that I learned, and I have to understand, I have to accept about myself. Everybody has to accept that about themselves, is I can't do everything. I'm not good at everything. There is some things where I need help with, even if I like to read the books and like to look into the information and like to build it for myself. There is some people who do it better than me. And one of those is a social media marketing site, how to communicate with the community. And you might think like, that's strange. You are a YouTuber. How are you not good at communicating with people? Well, I'm good at talking to a camera. I'm not good at interacting with people socially. I'm not really a very social person. So to have someone, maybe find an assistant who can help me with these kind of things, understands marketing, online shop, and all these kind of things that I don't know too much about, that would be really helpful to me. So I have to search for that. And also, by the way, this is where this kind of situations comes in, where your support and your funding for my channel is really important, because it would give me the ability to pay for an assistant. So of course you can ask people to help you for free, and a lot of people would be happy to do that because it's a win-win situation. I can tell them a lot of my information on how I built the channel, all these kind of thousands and thousands of things you really need to know to build a YouTube channel, and they can give me their information of what they know about the business side of things. But this is a very unstable form of relationship. So if you're able to pay someone, first of all, it's very respectful to pay someone to say, hey, your work, your time, your passion is actually worth something to me, not just a thank you, but actually giving you a means to survive, to live, to splurge a little bit on yourself. That's a good thing. This is respectful to say, yes, I see you, I accept you, I know you also have needs. You know, so that's a good thing. And of course, also, if you pay someone, if I have an assistant, I can pay them even a little bit. This enables me to say, well, I paid for that. Now I want the product I paid for. So that's also a good thing. It builds responsibility and it gives more trust in that kind of sense that you can say, yes, I deserve something because I gave you something. So that's also a good thing. Yeah. So you know. And you know, I like to talk about these things because I think these things help all of us to grow. And a lot of that is accepting things about yourself, saying, I'm not perfect. There's a lot of things that I do wrong. There's a lot of things I don't know about. I need some help. I need to understand that I make failures sometimes, but it's also okay to do that, you know. By the way, also a thing, and this is also a thing, that I think concerns everybody, especially the creative types. You get a lot of critique from the outside, a lot of people blaming you. I found that in almost any case, people that blame you, that critique you harshly, are people who don't create themselves, who are really bad at that, who hope they would be good, but they can't, who have more fear than you will ever have in that topic. So they resorted, instead of doing something, to hate on others who actually do something. And I found for myself that the only and best reaction to that is to just ignore it, because there is nothing else to do about that. I found also out that if you would actually react to that, it would hurt you more than the other person. There's nothing you can do that would hurt the other person. And why would you even want to hurt the other person? You might be enraged at that moment. You might be angry at that moment. Your emotions might fly high at that moment, but you have to think about actually in that moment to feel more sorry for the person. Say, I feel sorry that you have to react in that way. I gave the best thing I could at that moment, and even if I did a failure, I am improving as you are improving, and I'm sorry that you feel the need to be like that. And I don't want to sink to the same level. I want to actually improve myself and learn from that situation. So I understand maybe something happened wrong at that moment. I will accept that. I will probably try to forgive both of us for being wrong in a different way, but to ultimately try to get out in a better situation, learn from that, and improve the situation so I can do it better next time. So not to react, but to think about it. I think that's the best way to deal with these kind of situations, especially as an artist, because you will face as an artist a lot of critique from outside, people laughing about you, saying, this is stupid work. Why do you even do that? That's a joke. There's a lot of people who can do it better than you. So what? What does that even mean? Ultimately, as an artist, you always have to say to yourself, even if other people would do it better, they are not doing it the way I do. They not speak with my voice. They not speak with my experience from my life. They are not telling my story. They are telling their story. So if you like their story better, that is okay, but I still want to tell my story. I still want to express myself artistically. You are an artist because you have something you want to say. No matter if there is another person who can say their story in a better way, well, then they can tell their story in a better way. Who cares about that? It's about your own art and the freedom to be able to express that own art. So always trust in yourself. Always listen to your own need to express yourself, but also learn from other people around you. So that's the most important thing. Be positive, stay positive also in 2020. And yeah, have a good life, enjoy art, don't listen to your haters, and instead embrace the people who really love you, enjoy you, support you, and want you to go on with the thing you are doing. And this is also what I want to say to you. I'm happy you're part of my community. I'm happy you are open to learn new things, and that together we want to be on that journey and do amazing things in 2020 and all the years that come after that. And the final thing I want to say in this video for this year is that this is one thing I want to do more in 2020, is to share my journey, because, and this is another thing I have learned in 2019, it is not just about the knowledge, it is not just about the information. It is good, of course, to know the information, to know what a certain tool does, but it is much more important to really understand the artistic ideas and needs and journey behind that, the processes that we go through. So, for example, if you look at a camera, you might buy the best camera out there. You might buy the best lens out there. It still does not mean that you can take a single good picture with this amazing equipment, no matter how good the experts have been on building that camera, no matter how well you have read the manual for technically using this camera. There is an artistic journey to go through. So you will, I think, learn a lot more if you share your ideas with other artists and learn from their process. And so if you have an artistic and experienced photographer or photo editor, they will say, well, things work in a certain way because of this or that. I photograph at a certain time of day. I photograph people at a certain moment because of that. And if you look at the situation, if you look at the emotions, the kind of energy that is flowing in that image, or the things that are going on, and you try to capture that, because after all, every image, every picture you create or every photo you shoot is a story, is an expression from you, is something, a tale that you create through that photo. You have to put your own experience, your own emotion into that. Technology is only there to help you to make the picture, but the story is inside of yourself. You have to be able to let your emotion and your story flow through the technical devices into the picture that you create. And this is something you can only learn by looking at the journeys that others have already taken and see what kind of emotions and artistic experience they put into that. So I want to share a lot more of that, some of that titled Secret Sauce, but also a lot of that titled Let Us Have a Great Journey Together. Before I end the video, I want to talk about 5 things that I'm thankful for in 2019 and 5 things that I'm hopefully achieving in 2020. So the first thing I'm thankful for in 2019 is, of course, you, my community, because you enabled me to build this channel, you enabled me to teach you, but you also enabled me to keep my freedom and do whatever I want to do with my life because of that. And I really, really enjoy that I can just be an artist and create, and that you appreciate that. So thank you for being my community. Also, thank you for being a very, very nice and supportive community. This is very, very great. Another thing, the second thing that I'm thankful for in 2019 is that, and this is a little bit braggy, I read 22 books with over 5,500 pages. And the reason why I'm thankful for that is not only it gave me really, really great experience through reading these books, but it also made me understand that I don't have to read everything. Even if something has great quality, even if something is a great classic, and there are lists and pages and magazines that tell you you have to read these books before you die, you can say, it might be the best author in the world, but I'm just not interested, and that's okay. You are your own person. You have to choose what is important for you. So I learned that to some books I can say no, and to other books I can say yes. So learning about yourself and what's important to you, I'm thankful for that, to having done that, but also having learned that in 2019. Okay, the third thing I'm thankful in 2019 is that I started to doing sports. And not just sports, because it's really important for my body to keep fit and to fight all this kind of laziness, especially sitting in front of the computer most of the day, but to find a club where you have guided courses and you have a sauna and you have a pool that you can swim in, stuff that makes you feel good. Because I learned about myself, it is not just good enough that you are there and you do some things that are creative. You also have to do some things that are good for your body, not just your mind, but your body, that make you feel good, that make you healthy, and it gives the body what it needs. And at the same time, like, of course, you could say, well, you could just pump iron or go jogging or go for a walk, stuff like that. But these things are not for me because they are boring. I need something that entertains my mind, that gives me a reason to think about things or to stay on top of things. And the course does that because I have to follow what the teacher says. And the other things, like a sauna, gives me some things that are wellness and actually make me feel my body, make me understand that I not only have a mind, I also have a body, and I need to take care of that body. So I am really helpful for learning that, to understand that my body has needs too. Okay, the fourth thing that I am really thankful for is that in 2019 I sat down and I just tried to create stuff. So I did a lot of drawings, I did a lot of paintings, I wrote over 100 poems. I wanted to publish a book of poems this year. I think I should take some more time, pay some more respect to the stuff that I wrote, and also bring it in a form that's really good for you. So I will take a little bit more time for that. But I'm thankful that I just sat down and did these things. Also creating the things for Instagram, the pictures and stuff like that is really good to get away from the fear. Just push it away, just create something. A lot of that might be bad, but there is something good in there. I can pick that, and when I publish only good stuff, you still have something cool to look at. You don't have to see all the rest, the garbage that I created in the meantime, but I'm thankful that I went through all of that journey. And I'm also thankful I can share that journey with you. And the fifth thing that I am thankful for that is that this year I had the ability to travel a little bit more. That was nice, seeing other things, also experiencing other things. Normally I'm a person who goes mostly to museums and temples and churches and old historic buildings, stuff like that. But this time I also went more into nature, and that was very nice to have that kind of experience, that it is not wasted time to sit in a forest or sit on a mountain or sit in a landscape and just look at the sun go down. Stuff like that is also nice and gives you a lot of knowledge and understanding of the world around you. A different kind of information, but a very important kind of information. And you connect to other parts of yourself, to maybe also other parts of your soul. So I'm really thankful for that, and also for the ability to be able to travel a bit more. And I want to enhance that in 2020 even more. Okay, now here come the things I want to try to achieve in 2020. First of all, the first thing is I want to try to make more friends. Because especially through like doing my own stuff, sitting in front of a computer all the day, I live a rather secluded life. I don't see too many people throughout the week, and I really need to change that. It's important to have friends, it's important to make friends, and to have like get the pieces of other people's minds, really to talk with them and exchange ideas, especially to find creative friends maybe that I can create something with. So that's kind of important to have that. Another thing, and this might be very strange to say that on YouTube, finding love is also important. Yes, I'm single at the moment, which is mostly the reason because I'm sitting at home all day in front of the computer, and that's not a good thing. You don't want to spend your life at home alone. You don't want to grow old alone. You want to have someone who cares about you more than just being a friend, but being someone who's really part of your life and sharing your souls basically with each other. That's really nice to have. So yeah, that's a big goal for 2020. Let's see if that is reachable in some way or another, to find someone who cares about me. That would be great. Okay, cool. So the third thing I want to, well, three, there's three, there we go. Okay, anyways. Third thing I want to achieve in 2020, that is creating more art. I have done a lot of stuff in 2020, but I think I can do more, and I think I should do more. And like I said, getting away from the fear, just doing things, even if they are not good, but just create, and to simplify your life, where you don't have to like take an hour to prepare all the things you need to create, but have them set at a spot where you have everything you need, and then you can just do the things and take time to do them without rushing through the process, just taking your time, respecting yourself, respecting the art, and create something nice and making yourself happy with that, also sharing it with other people. That's a big goal for 2020. And the fourth goal for 2020 is, besides finding more friends, is finding more business partners or cooperations with other channels, with other creatives. Hopefully the VidCon in London in 2020 will help me to meet another or a lot of other YouTubers that I can create with, that I can also be inspired by, or maybe inspire myself also. It would be great to have a network also to talk about a lot of things that are on my mind, because of course, as you can imagine, creating such a channel is pretty hard work. You have a lot of things you want to share, you want to talk about with other people who are in that same situation, maybe to I don't know, talk about plans, talk about fears, talk about their experiences, stuff like that. So that's also a big goal finding business partners, finding other co-op channels that I can create some, and also talk regularly with to exchange ideas and stuff like that. And the fifth thing that I want to plan for 2020, I already said it, it's to travel more and to see more of the world, also exchange more with other cultures, because I think this is one of the most important things you can do in your life, is to meet people from other cultures, because they have amazing insights into what life is, what the world is, and how everything around us works. Just from the difference of culture, from the difference of language, from the difference of how they do things and what the things mean to them. For example, recently I met a friend, she is from Taiwan, and she's teaching me Chinese, I'm teaching her German, and I ask her a lot of questions about their culture, and it's really, really interesting to see how different it is. For example, I asked them, you don't have like these small kind of bread, we call them semmel, so it's like bread buns. But in Asia, I've never seen a store that sells bread buns like you have in Germany. So I ask them, what do you eat for breakfast? And they say, well, we eat rice and it's warm and it's spicy. And it's like, really? Warm, spicy stuff for breakfast? That sounds not like something a German person would eat, because we have like bread with marmalade or stuff like that. It's certainly not warm food at the morning. So that was very interesting. It was very interesting also that she said that we tend to eat a lot at the evening, while they tend to eat a lot during the day, but very light at the evening, which is actually a lot healthier than eating a lot before you go to sleep. Also something I need to change about my life, because I mainly eat at night and not so much during the day, and it's not good for your body. Okay, so you know a lot about my fears, a lot about the things I'm thankful for. Again, I'm really thankful about you being part of my channel. And with that, I want to wish you an amazing year 2020, and also an amazing end of 2019. Celebrate with your friends, with your family, with your pets. Stay safe. Don't drink too much, so you still have control over yourself and your mind and your safety. And always also keep in mind, consent is very, very important with everything you do with other people. Okay, so have a good new year and see you in 2020. Bye.